Hello and welcome back to the Finish Line and episode 7 of our Cheltenham Festival Ante-Post video. As always, I'm joined by Tom, and Andrew Blair-White is here joining us again. Thanks for joining us again, Andrew.
No worries. Pleasure to be here.
You're becoming part of the furniture now.
Yep, seems like it. But when Dave's back up death's door, I suspect he nestles straight back in.
You might be settling in next to him. Never know. If he can still fucking put up with us. But anyway, we're here for episode 7 of our Cheltenham Festival Ante-Post videos. It's probably not going to be a long one because we ranted on for ages on our last one. Our weekend preview, which is just up before us. And we have loads of winners. So, we are going to go on. So, Tom, take us away with your 7th Ante-Post Cheltenham Festival pick.
Yeah, guys, this won't come as a surprise to a couple of you who watch our videos because I gave it away on our review of Christmas. But my one is going to be the Big Getaway. I was going to put him up before he ran first time out this season, but I was off that week, which I thought was a blessing in disguise. But he's gone and bolted up next time then at Leopardstown and showed what he can really do. He's a horse I liked last season. I wouldn't say I was all over him, but he just looked like a chaser and a horse who'd improve. Patrick then came on our show over lockdown and put him up as one who he really liked for next season to go chasing, and he thought he could develop into a good horse. And I think if you heard Ruby talk, the way Ruby was talking before the race at Leopardstown he was saying he stopped so quickly in Navan, and that's not what he shows us at home, and let's hope that was just a blip. And I think it was, to be honest. Cedarwood Road is far from a bad horse, and he absolutely hammered him. So yeah, he's going to select my selection, and I was wondering about putting him up for any race. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go all in on one race, and it's going to be the National Hunt Chase. I just think the yard also have Monkfish for the RSA, and I think Patrick is going to be all over trying to get the ride on this lad in the National Hunt Chase. Somehow this lad is where has he gone? He's 16-1 anyway. He's 16-1 with William Hill, Bet365 and 888 Sport, and with Genting Bet for those in the UK. So I just think 16-1 is a wild price, given that Galvin is as short as 4-1, which that's the other horse we were on about last week as the wise guy's horse. Mm-hmm. I'd have this lad any day over him at 4-1. This lad 4 times the price. He's my selection. I've backed him, and I'm pretty confident. Yeah.
Right, I'll pop him in mine because it kind of goes with your one. I'm not convinced after that performance they're going to run the National Hunt Chase. I think...
Don't say the Marsh.
No, RSA. I'm convinced that after that performance they'll go RSA. I know they have Monkfish. He's surely too good for...
He'll split them up. Surely to God, he'll split them up.
You think so, but geez, you think he's too good for a National Hunt Chase on the back of that. And that's where I came in with my one. Like I was thinking in my head the same thing you were thinking. National Hunt Chase. This is the horse. This is Patrick Mullen's horse. But then you think, yeah, if he runs to this, he probably bolt up in it. But then is he too classy to run it? Is he too good to run it? Mm-hmm. I think he is, and this is why I'm going in with. I said last week, I think this horse is stone hands, and the handicapper must be listening because he put him up 2 bloody stone. Is Royal Pagoi for the National Hunt Chase. And this is on the hope that the Big Getaway doesn't run, because he'd be my only worry in the race. I think this fella is really classy. He's going under the radar. Well, he was going under the radar until he absolutely bolted up at Kempton. Travelled by far the best horse in the race. So little effort to get over the fences. I think 3 miles 6 be right up his alley. The non-run of money back specials has come in with most bookmakers over the last week, and I was just glanced at Paddy Power before I was getting the prices. He's 8-1 non-run of money back, and firms that are not on non-run of money back, he's 14s. So I think this is the only real option they have because he's probably have been handicapped out of for the handicaps. He was my as Tom was with the boss's Oscar, his handicap nap. This was going to be my handicap nap. I couldn't see this fella being beat whatsoever until he's gone up to 154 now, which is probably way too high in the handicaps for anything at Cheltenham. But I really, really like him. I think they've always liked him. He wasn't great last season, but he's come back and absolutely battered two fields on the bridle both times. The race last time was ran at a really, really good gallop. There was a near furlong between first and last at one stage at Kempton, and he just travelled through it. Charlie Deutsch never looked like he was worried at any stage. You knew what he had under him. It's not. You don't need to be the classiest horse in the world to win this. I think he's my idea of the winner, 14-1. I'd back him because this is his only race I think he can run in. But if anyone is worried that he might be injured or at an 8-1, is still an alright price. But I think come today he'll be a lot shorter than that. And this is just in the hope. Put on record. If the Big Getaway runs in this, I think the Big Getaway wins it, hands down. But I just think on the back of his performance at Leopardstown, he has to go RSA after that. So Royal Pad Guy, National Hunt Chase, 3 miles 6, no problem at all. Classic horse, go under the radar. Phoenicia Williams, I think you have a right chance in it. Andrew, who is your pick?
Yeah, well, actually, not dissimilar in terms of types of race and types of thinking. A horse I'm going to put up it's going to be in the any race market because I'm just not sure. I'll be humming and hawing between two races. I think it probably depends whether he gets into the handicap option or not. But a horse called Run Wild Fred for Gordon and Gigginstown. He's 12-1 any race. I think he either runs in the National Hunt Chase or the Kim Muir. I'd love to see him in the Kim Muir. He's currently got an Irish mark of 135. The ceiling for the Kim Muir is 145. You'd think he gets maybe £5-6. So at the moment, he should be safe to be under that limit. I think they'd have Rob James claiming £7 like they did with Milan Native last year. I was humming and hawing before his run on New Year's Eve at Punchestown. I wasn't sure whether he was like a blow-by-blow and he just lost his marbles completely over fences, which some of those horses can. But he ran very well behind Longhouse Poet. I thought he was given a bit of an easy time of things near the end. I'm sure winning that day wasn't probably the be-all and end-all. And he's got some classy enough beginner's chase form behind Latest Exhibition, behind now Longhouse Poet as well. It's just, there's a lot of similarities between him and Milan Native. I can't have this Galvin at all. Both of your guys' horses are very good horses. I'd probably more be siding with Andrew's thought on the Big Getaway. I don't know what Mullins will do with the race this year because everyone got their fingers burned on Carefully Selected in the race last year. Went over a ridiculously short price. If the Big Getaway was to run the race, he'd go over a ridiculously short price. I don't know. He's a horse that sometimes looks terrific, sometimes looks like he could be given a little bit more. I remember he threw a race away at Leopardstown this time last year, so I'm not sure where he'll end up. But Run Wild Fred, I'd prefer him to see him in a Kim Muir because I'd say something might be better than him in a National Hunt Chase. But you got to look at these Gordon Elliott horses with handicaps, and I was lucky enough to get on a decent price on wide receiver, and I just think this Run Wild Fred, like if you were to say tomorrow, if Gordon was to come out and say he's running the Kim Muir and Rob James rides him or Jamie Codd rides him, he's 5-1 just from off that talk alone. So I'm taking that risk, but in the any race market, I think he'll run, and I think he'll run very well no matter where he ends up.
Yeah, he sounds like a Kim Muir horse to me now, the way you're out there explaining it there now. It has very, very similar things to Milan Native next year. So I take a chance to Kim Muir, a decent price now.
Yeah, no, I think that's more than likely where he'll end up, and probably the race I'd prefer him to be in, to be honest, as well.
Now, since this is your first time on the Ante-Post one, we'll get your Ante-Post bet that you are so happy with now that you think you're just waiting to collect in Cheltenham.
I would say I'd say my two best at the moment are wide receiver 25s any race and Brave Man's Game at 16s for the Ballymore. I'd say those are and Time Hill at 16s for the Stairs. They're probably my three best. All three of them have live chances. Now there's a few absolute stinkers in there as well, but they'd be the three I'd be most confident about running very well. Probably wide receiver. I've
fairly sweet on him.
It's probably my album photo of this year. Like if he went and won, like he's been a horse. I think the first tweet I put up about him was after his second run over hurdles in the middle of October. So I've got visible proof that I was, thinking about it from a long time out. So David Jennings has stolen my idea, not me the other way around. Because that's what people have said to me. People have said I've stolen David Jennings' selection. Sorry.
Do you know what I've done, right? I've not watched Upping the Ante all this year, and it's a show I really enjoy. We're man enough to say we listen to other shows and we enjoy them. But Upping the Ante, I really like David Jennings, and who's the guy on with him?
Gavin Lynch.
Yeah. I know Gavin Lynch's stats that he comes out with are so good. I've purposely not watched it this year, because people would be like, oh, you copied them. And I think there are some occasions where our shows, I tipped up the horse 3 weeks ago. And then one of the guys, Gavin Lynch, came out and tipped it. Because he tipped a Plutard then as well at 16s. And everyone was like, oh, you've nicked that off Gavin Lynch. It's like, how? I tipped it up 3 weeks ago. So that happens. Frustrating. But anyway.
It's happened twice already this year as well.
With what?
Oh, I can't remember, but we were tagged in things on Twitter. One of my selections, one of your selections.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I literally have no idea.
I haven't watched it either. I didn't watch it at all.
I don't read much on Twitter these days either, because it's just turned into coronavirus negativity, and everybody wants to knock everybody because everybody else's opinion is better than everyone in the horse racing game. So it's just mind-boggling.
It's a shit show, is what it is.
It's shite, yeah.
Shit show.
But one of the funniest things, I'll give a shout out to Brian, who put it up the other day, that John McConnell is going doing a Twitter Q&A at the weekend. And they said, if you've got any questions, do you want to leave them underneath? And Brian said something along the lines of, are you and Tom Rain the same person? Which I got 2 phone calls off good mates afterwards who were absolutely wetting themselves laughing. They thought it was hilarious. So, yeah, good man, Brian.
Funny enough, we've never seen the two people in the same room together.
So I got my hat on.
Do not think they're doppelgangers? Or
I don't think so.
Well,
I would, in fairness, yeah. I can see the similarities.
Twins, 100% twins. I hope he answered it. Oh, it'll be absolutely cool.
The funny thing is, John knows who I am. I've bought a couple of horses off John. He's a really, really nice guy and very good trainer. So yeah, he knows who I am. So yeah.
But does John go around saying he's 30 when he's clearly not 30?
I bet you Andrew's older than me as well.
Andrew, how old are you?
30, Andrew.
21.
What?
Now.
21.
I'm done. I'm leaving. Everyone gets on to me, Andrew. I know how you feel, because everyone must think you're about 43 as well.
I'd say the voice for me. People think, if you just listen to the voice, you'd think I was 60.
Yeah. To be fair, you would.
And have a receding hairline. So, wait
until you hit 30.
Which you've hit it 10 times.
I have not. Anyway, this is wailing now into I'm 30. I'm gonna have to get my passport out or something.
Anyway, right, we'll wrap it up. 15 minutes in, that's long enough for an Ante-Post video. I'm
going back in on the big getaway. I've just been looking at him now. Patrick Mullins' record in that race is pretty good, and I don't know what else Willie's going to run in that race, and I really think he'll go there. They ran Ballyward there he was a smart horse, had run in Grade 1s before. Carefully
Raven.
selected last year. So
Rathvin.
Rathvindon was then third in a national. Ruby rode him in an Irish national. So yeah, I'm pretty confident he's going to run there. So
I give him a text, National Hunt Chase, yes or no, and I won't tell anyone, even you.
He'll say, "Sorry, who's this?"
So, how did you get my number? I thought I blocked you. Patrick's a good lad. So that stuff's done anyway. We are back, as I said on our last book, we're back on Sunday at 8 o'clock for a live review show where we go back over everything that happened over the weekend, good and bad. So again, thanks for watching, lads. Give us a like, subscribe, a comment below with your best Ante-Post selection of the season so far and what you're looking forward to run over the next coming week. So thanks again. I keep repeating myself. Lads, we'll see you next week.